Everything changed in our homeschool this year. We switched from Ambleside Online to the CMEC and completely overhauled our whole schedule. And then in the middle of everything, we moved. So in this video, I'm going to share how the change has affected our homeschool, what things have really helped us thrive in the midst of a very uneven, wacky fall, and how the CMEC has really helped us thrive in the midst of all that life brings at us. I'm Cherrick, and welcome to my channel. On this channel, I do videos about nature study, homeschooling, and family life. One of the things that really helped us thrive this year, even in the midst of a move, even though we were, cobbling things together and getting interrupted a ton, was the CMEC has some training on how to put together a timetable. And this is the one that we have for Thursday, and I have a bunch of them here as well. And that has actually been something that I have resisted for years. But as I mentioned in my switching to CMEC video, I really needed to make some changes in our homeschool because I found our kids were really not getting the living ideas that I was wanting them to get. Really, they were being bored and they needed more to do, especially as my kids were starting to move into middle school. I have two middle schoolers this year. I have a 6th grader and a 7th grader. And I started to find that they just did not have enough to do. And that was a lot related to how I was organizing our homeschool day and the amount of work that they had. But then also, I think some of my attitude about the work has needed a lot of cultivating, let's say. I am still growing in that area. I tend to be very task oriented. And of course, Charlotte Mason education is not task oriented. It's not about making lists and checking boxes, even though I have boxes and lists here. This is more of a tool that I have utilized, and there is some training that Celeste and Amy Snell do on the CMEC website that has really helped me figure out how to get a handle on the timetable, how to utilize it. And then what the other tool I utilized was, if we got off the timetable, which we really did, especially as Christmas got closer, I would just set a timer, and I had a couple different timers going. We'd set them at the same time. Okay, we're going to do 20 minutes independent work. You're doing this, you're doing that, I'm doing this. And then that allowed us to come back together and for me to check everyone's work. That was what was missing with the way I had scheduled our homeschool previously, which was, and you can actually check it out on our Done by Lunch video. It's a very good representation of how that we were operating in that season, with my oldest being in 4th grade and then the younger ones kind of trickling down from there. And I did feel like that system worked really well. The routine was very life-giving for us. But like I said, as my older students started getting older and they started needing more independence, I realized that I was not giving them what they needed to have the structure and then also the freedom that they needed. And then, accountability. I needed to be checking in with them at regular intervals to make sure that they were doing their work and that they were, really starting to take a lot of the ownership of their education. The next thing that has been life-giving to us by utilizing the CMEC curriculum is the use of dancing. They have singing games. They have like a playlist that is linked over in YouTube that Amy Snell has put together of singing games, kind of like Ring Around the Rosie. We did Farmer in the Dell and we did Old Joe Clark. And my younger kids, actually all my kids, but my younger kids are like asking to do them. It just creates a sense of life and a vibrancy that we didn't have before. And we also are learning the folk dances. So this last semester we learned Alabama Gal and the Virginia Reel. And then at Christmas, we were able to do the Virginia Reel with some of our family members, and they just all had so much fun doing that. Well, those are all the highlights from this fall semester for our family utilizing the CMEC as our spine curriculum this year. And I am going to actually do another video that's going to explain a little bit more how I utilize the timetable, and then how I use my logbook and why that was so essential to help me get through all the content that we had lined up. So thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.